itself. Why? Why? Anyway, let's move on. Thank you very much, my people. Madam Nnenna, are you available to speak now?
Yeah, Mr. Evans, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Thank you, man. Good evening to you. Please talk to us.
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening, everybody on the panel, everybody on the comment section. Happy weekend to everybody, and thank you so
Thank you.
much, Mami Diaspora. God bless you, Mr. Evans. Yeah, I didn't really see most of the video. I don't know how many videos you played today. I didn't really see much of them, but I just felt like you needed to just be on the panel
Yeah,
today.
the video is, if in case you didn't watch, you just focus on what is on the screen, because
Yeah.
you remember we reported over 280 something or
Yes.
something,
Yes.
something
Yes.
kidnapped yesterday. Now today it happens again.
Another
Another
one. Yeah.
entire student kidnapped today in Sokoto. It's
Mm.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. On that. uh, yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was not on the panel, but I think overheard when I watched a little bit of it when this guy, the one they said is the speaker of the house of the Senate, Akpabio, that was saying that terrorism has reduced drastically in Nigeria. And when I heard that, and with all these things that is happening, it makes one to really understand how emotionally, mentally, and otherwise detached that these people are, or how far that's like the gap between them and the Nigerian masses, such that they will just come on air and they will open their mouth and say whatever they need to say without minding or caring one bit as to what the ordinary people on the street are going through. You know, when you see a situation, the kind of situation that Nigeria is in, with everything that happens every single day, there are from my understanding, there are a lot of people that, like the university students, they say they were kidnapped before. From my understanding, those people have not been found. A lot of people have been kidnapped and I mean, these are people that have made it in the news. There are so many that are happening that are not making it in the news. And then you see the number, the supposed number, third person in a country like Nigeria coming out to make such an insensitive, you know, careless conversation, talk. It tells you one thing and one thing alone, that these people are so far away from whatever the Nigerian people are feeling. First of all, it's not like I told the line of thought of the person that said that these people are not confused. Mr. Elvis, these people are not confused. They are not confused. They are simply not interested, because from the word go, the man called Tinubu was not interested in stealing the power to do anything for Nigeria. He just wants to add it as part of his ugly satanic resume of the things that he achieved in his lifetime. Because when this man was campaigning for the election, did he ever make any promise? Did he say anything? Did he ever get into any TV conversation or any interviews or no? Did he participate in any debates? Of course not. What this man said, that it is his turn. So to him, he has been doing things, maybe according to them, being the godfather, whatever he is, installing the people he's installing and everything. He said he's been doing all these things. He never asked for any position. He never asked for anything. That now it is his turn. He didn't want to ask because he's waiting for the time for him to come and collect. He doesn't want to be given. He wants to be the one that will collect. So that is exactly what this man have come to do. That is what he came here to do. He said he is going to continue from where Tinubu Buhari stopped. I see him as a promise keeper. He's keeping his promise. He's continuing. He did not say he's coming to change anything. He said he's continuing. And like the caller said, he said he's going to reduce the purchasing power of the people. And that is exactly what he's doing. Remember when this man went to Chatham House and they asked him they were asking him questions. Part of the question that I was thrown to him was question that has something that has to do with insecurity in Nigeria. Did you see him answer that question? Of course not. Who did he transfer? I remember the very well that the person that he transferred that question to that day that answered it, I think it's either Erofai or who, if I'm not mistaken, because this man has absolutely nothing. Like, he's not confused. It's just the fact that it's not his plan. It's not part of his plan. It's not part of his agenda to come and do anything in Nigeria. What he wants to do is just for him to come and consolidate himself, just like he's been stealing all his life. This is a man who knows nothing but criminality all his life. So, I mean, getting to the highest office in Nigeria is adding to his final resume before he finally departs this planet Earth. That is just what he want to do. So it's not about being confused. It's about for him that first of all they don't have the willingness. It's not like the capability is not there. It is everything that, but they don't have the willingness. They don't have the intention. It doesn't even have the. That's not. I didn't want to use the word capability. It doesn't have the wherewithal. It doesn't know what it takes intellectually, whatever. It doesn't have what it takes to fix anything. So if anybody is expecting that anything is going to get better in this man, it's just a waste of time. Nothing. He has nothing to offer. He didn't promise he's going to offer anything. He said he's going to he changed that. He said he's going to turn the economy upside down. Was that not what the word he used? I remember very well. He used such that he's going to turn Nigeria economy upside down. That is exactly what he has done, and that's what he completes to do. So this man has no plans. He doesn't have anything to offer. And we ask ourselves, why is terrorism increasing? Have we forgotten so fast that the man who established Boko Haram is the supposed vice president of Nigeria? This is pure business. This is pure business. Do you expect him to go and pursue his own boys? Or was it not in our own full glare that this man visited Boko Haram camp? This Shetima guy. Was it not in our own full glare? So what are we talking about? So it's not about being confused. And now somebody is saying that they are going to meet the terrorists and negotiate with them. That means they know who the terrorists are and don't know where to find them. What are we even talking about? They know where these terrorists are. If you say you're going to negotiate, you cannot go negotiate with somebody that is in thin air, that commits a crime and disappears into thin air. For you to go and negotiate, that means you know where the person is. You know where to go and meet the person, sit on the round table and begin to talk with the person. They know who they are. So if they really want to do anything, what you need to do is to go after them and get them. But they don't want to get them because this is business for them. You need to understand that. That is business for them. That is what they do. This people don't give a damn. They don't care. They do not care. That is just the simple fact. And then I come into this the other topic I saw here. They are trying everything to cancel P2B. Yes, I watched that Aisha's video last night. I watched it here last night, and what I said because when I watched it, I made a comment on that. Aisha said, "Look, that MC man. I believe that's where this topic is coming from. What happened at Herbert Wigwe's burial? That MC man, whatever he did there was not a mistake. It was not oversight. First of all, P2B was not sitting in the crowd. He was not sitting back. He was sitting right in front. Everybody saw him. The camera captured him. So that's whatever that man did was not an oversight by any means. It was intentional. And I am so happy. I was, in fact, I felt so excited that at an instant, people forgot that it was in a burial. And Nigerians, the same voice that they used to troop out en masse to vote for this man, that eventually his mandate was stolen, the same voice they use very loud and clear and say, no, not under our watch will this man sit down here and you people will just ignore him. Recognizing all the criminals, recognizing Weekend, the rest of them, and you bully them, and you neglect, you want to tell me that you did not see that somebody like P2B was in the crowd? Are you kidding me? They are doing all these things to make P2B, but make it relevant. But unfortunately, P2B is a man. He's like a shining star. That man that cannot be ignored, that cannot be neglected anywhere. So anybody that tries to play games with P2B, except wherever they meet P2B and they are playing that game, is a place where P2B is all alone. But as long as there are 2, 3, 4 Nigerians, well meaning Nigerians in that crowd, you cannot just, P2B is not the kind of person you can just shove under the carpet. It's not possible. I said it before, that there's no election in Nigeria that has attracted the kind of thing that 2023 election attracted. The reason is because a man, a rare gem, a man who is not an ordinary person, took part in that election. He did not just take part in the election. He won the election and his mandate was stolen. So if they think that P2B is a man that they can just cancel, it is not happening. When you listen to that particular thing that happened in Herbert Wigwe's DC, first of all, for me, at one point I'm like, why all the recognition? This is a funeral. Why recognize? But at least when you started the recognition, there are people that need to be recognized, and you think that somebody you can ignore is somebody like P2B, and people screamed. Even when he was eventually called up, look at the upload. And all those people in where they are, they be like, their mind. So this man is still, carries this kind of charisma wherever he goes. P2B is a shining star. So they cannot, whatever they try to do, they cannot. Look at the other day after speaking to the Niger State governor. This man stood in the full glow of everybody and called Peter to be my boss. Do you know what that means? My boss. And he made a comment. He said, people may not like you. That tells you what they have been discussing about P2B in their closet. He said, people may not like you. Maybe what he forgot to, maybe what he was trying to say, that even me, if I don't like you, but what you said is true. Take it or leave it. The man still stands tall amongst all of them. They cannot. When they call Wicked, did you hear anybody clap? When they called Dangote, did you hear anybody clap? But immediately P2B's name was mentioned. The whole church, even the woman that was sitting right beside P2B, I don't know the relationship with that person and the guy that Herbert Wigwe that died. See the way she turned, I was clapping right on P2B's face to tell you how excited they were that the man was mentioned. Are you kidding me? They cannot. They cannot. My people will say, God, P2B is a star, and stars cannot be covered. It's not possible. So it's unfortunate they do whatever they do. Like you said, Nigerian issue is just, it drives somebody, like it drives somebody crazy. It's so sad that
it's just so it's too stressful.
Besides, you can't even, sometimes you can't even begin to imagine. Let me just share something briefly. You know, I was trying to get flight because I'm planning to go to Nigeria, right? I was trying to get a ticket that I've already gotten the one that will take me to Nigeria. Then the one that will take me to the east. So to try to buy the ticket. I got an agent that was trying to get the ticket. The person bought the ticket was trying to get the seat. You know, they said they found the seat. Okay, for me to transfer the money. In the process of transferring money, there was a gap of about 15-20 minutes. Yeah, and then the person responded to me that the ticket they found has increased by 5,000. I'm telling you, within a space of 15 minutes, an additional 5,000 has added to the money. I was able to pay, but the point is that how many people are able to do that? I said, when I was discussing it with my niece, he said, oh, auntie, you don't understand. If you go to market now to buy something, they tell you this is just grab it right away. Grab it right, because by the time you turn your back and come back, that thing has added like 1,000 or 2,000 on top of it. I asked myself, yes.
Please specify, was it 5,000 naira or $5,000?
No, 5,000 naira because he was actually a local flight that I was supposed to take from Lagos to Asaba.
Thank you.
Yes. No, I was supposed to take from Lagos to Asaba. Initially, when they got it, they said the price was one way to this day, because in Nigeria you have to buy going and coming, right? So it was actually I think 115,000 naira, 115,000 naira. Just the moment for me to transfer the money, the guy said, "Oh, excuse me, ma, they changed my voice that the price have increased though. Within a space of 15 minutes, increased by, so now instead of 115, then it's added extra 5,000 on top of it." I'm like, really? Just within these 15 minutes. Immediately I said, I beg, just quickly get this, because if I wait the next 30 minutes, it's going to increase again. I'm like, why? Like, what exactly is going on? What exactly is happening? Are you
No,
not
you won't even see it.
That is the problem. That is the problem. I was actually trying to get this seat for we are two, because I'm supposed to be traveling with a relative in Nigeria. We meet in Lagos, and then we'll travel together. They were telling me that it's only one seat. Then after I said, no, I have to do this because I cannot travel alone. I should travel alone. Then it's okay, if you're going to travel together, then it's going to be extra 31,000. I'm like, really? Look, Nigerian situation is just, it's so frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. Like, the more you listen to the things that happen in Nigeria, the more you hear things, the more you, oh my God. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous. I ask, how do people survive? And these people are just busy, opening their mouth and saying some nonsense and acting like they don't care. Like, it's just very frustrating. Like, all around frustration is what is going on in Nigeria. All around frustration. All this kidnapping and everything. Have you heard this apparition in Asuro say anything about it? Have you heard him open his mouth to say anything about, I remember during the Chibok girls, he was among the people that carried placard with his bended leg, protesting against Goodluck Jonathan. Look Look at the number of kidnapping that has happened in his few months. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Oh, I've not heard his voice. If anyone has heard his voice, people tell me. I've not heard this man's voice. I've not. It's so disheartening. Little children will go to school, and I ask myself, how does this even happen? 280 something in broad daylight. How do they even do it? Do they use net to catch them like fish? How? Like, how does it even happen? One human being character that makes no sense will be working with more than 10 policemen and army men in the name of minister or whatever they are. Yes, look at what is happening in our schools. And I was seeing even the premises of the school in question, and I asked myself, is this a school? Is this a school? Is this where children have to go and sit and study? Is this a school? I look at it. I remember my days in youth service, and when I went to my youth service in Kasana State in Dusima. If you see like a day like them, I wouldn't even step an inch. I'm going to, because that the place they called the orientation NYC camp. There was just one open, dirty, one shanty place like that. All they did was just to put mattresses. If it were like a day like a time like today, they would just come there and capture all of us, because there's no security, nothing, everything just. One secondary school in one Dusima secondary. Anybody that knows Castor State area inside Dusima, that was where I did my youth service. That was where I did my orientation anyway. Because after orientation, I was able to find myself and relocate to Lagos and complete my youth service in Lagos. But the point is that the country has turned to, I don't even like. Oh my God, Nigeria's situation is so frustrating. It's so sad. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know. Sometimes I think one gets so depressed about whatever, everything that's going on in that country. So sad. And this one is talking, making it look as if it's all about religion. Talk about releasing these people. It's not about whether you people are fasting or not fasting. It has nothing to do with religion. It has the fact that people have been kidnapped, for crying out loud. Don't make it look as if it's all. That is the problem where we are. Making it look as if it's all about religion. Because you're fasting, because it's Ramadan period. Who cares? Who cares about get this? Honestly, Mr. Elvis, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm just.
Thank you. Thank you, ma. I understand. That is the situation. Thank you very much, Madam Nnenna, for that wonderful submission. I'd like to hear from Madam Luke. Madam Luke, I can see you were struggling with your network earlier on. I guess you are better now. Good evening to you, ma. Please talk to us.
Oh, I had to change device.
Okay, you are better now anyway. Thank you.
Oh, good. All right. Yeah, so Mommy Diaspora, I greet you, members of the comment section, the callers, the viewers at large, and of course my co-panelists. I greet you all. It's another wonderful day. You know, Mr. Avis, sometimes we have to take care of our mental health. And I don't know how you do this, and I must praise you. It's a lot of sacrifice to come out every day, even for me to just participate for the 5 hours. Before I come on, I'm already depressed, because most of the things you probably showcase, we've probably already seen it earlier in the day. And then as soon as we hang up, after our therapy session, we go back to another state of depression, because it's like nothing, and nothing. But anyway, you started with your SOA TV. There's always lamentations going on there. The people that are supporting Tinubu want Tinubu to continue, just as a payback for those who supported him. And Mr. Niger Watch was asking that why are the people who supported Tinubu not coming out to castigate him? Of course they're coming out to castigate him. All the videos we've been watching, and they've been swearing for him, and they've been, regretting and everything. That's part of the protest, and they don't like what is going on. Even though some people said give him time, some are still hoping that he will change and all that good stuff. But we all know that, as the cleric said, it's all about moral and ethical decadence. And the only thing that can save Nigeria is a revolution, is a moral and ethical revolution. And I will tie it into what Mr. Dele Faroti, I can't believe that man is 56. He looks like he's almost 65. to tell you the way Nigeria has just rubbished somebody. I'm not saying he looks bad, but I mean the way that you can tell the pressure of Nigeria are on his shoulders. That he doesn't really see any joy in living. He looks so stressed. I would tie it into what he said. He said the beneficiaries of the election heist, cannot reform Nigeria. As long as you cannot deal with the failed institutions all the way from Buhari's time. He also said that Tinubu was the chief marketeer of Buhari. So why is he complaining? It is what he sold us. So what did he think was going to change? So he just said that you can. He complained to he prided himself to have built Lagos, and Mr. Dilo Farotimi just threw all that in the trash and said, "You built Lagos, yet you don't have one standard healthcare. Even the blue rail, red rail." He says how much of it is the national, the federal government's money that is built from state money, and even then, after how many years? So you see, it's just depressing because they have weaponized ignorance and poverty. As a result of that, the people can't think and can't speak truth to power anymore. And he said that this decay cuts across all strata of the nation. He said we are all complicit because in benefiting from the heist, especially with INEC and all the failed institutions around the country, the military, the police, all that, there's not going to be any progress. There's not going to be not even a step in the right direction. So he says he fears that Nigeria is going to go into an implosion and a cataclysmic situation. And everything that we have to do to save Nigeria has to come with the individual. He says this is going to be an individual commitment, an individual move to salvage Nigeria. It must start with one person. Only then can we form groups and that we can say no to tribalism and say no to religion, religious bigotry. Only then can we stand as one, but it has to start from the individual. And I agree. But when you have people come up here and telling us that that's how it is, and that is how it was, and that's how it's going to be, so you don't expect us to have any headway. So moving on, Peter Obi, Mr. Peter Obi, being sidelined according to Aisha Yusuf. That's not today now. That has been going on, and they will always try that, even in the means of death, when you are mourning people, they will do that. So that's not anything new. But he would always handle himself well, and that's one thing I love about him. He always handles himself well. He's the same today. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's the same. So he handled it well, and unfortunately, it was a situation where he was the only one that really got the standing ovation, even if it was in the midst of a funeral, even if it was under sad circumstances. Yes, there's hunger in the land, and Mr. Yusuf has told us again. I don't know why he keeps telling us about hunger. Why doesn't he criticize the government? Why doesn't he criticize the banditry going on in the north? My question is that when there's banditry and there's hunger, he said they should buy food and flood the market. Is it only about stomach infrastructure? Has he ever thought about spiritual redemption? Nigeria is spiritually malnourished, especially in the north. They lack spirituality, and that is why even in the midst of plenty, they're still lazy. They don't want to go to farm, and the ones that want to go to farm, the others will discourage them from going, or they will discourage them from going to school. So why doesn't he address that? We know the Oronsaye report is dead on arrival because the people who are supposed to implement the Oronsaye report, they have expended a lot of money in a humongous cost of governance. So no, Mr. Yusuf, flooding the market with food is not the issue. Tell your governors to invest in agriculture. Tell them to go back to farms. Tell them to provide security so that people can go to farms and produce for the nation. Whatever food is coming from the north can serve the whole country and more. So it's not a matter of going to buy food and flood the markets. Okay, if that's that easy, then tell your governors to do that. They have money, they have emergency funds or whatever, state allocation. They can buy food and flood the markets if it's that easy. So Niger Watch is calling on Tinubu supporters, you said so. And then the demolishing of houses in Lagos, I don't really know where that is going. But I think they just want to develop that and give it to somebody else, like the Chinese, to develop that part of the country. And I think that's what it is, because it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
And their bad baby factories, that's been going on for the longest time. That's a separate part of the country that a different kind of kidnapping is going on. That has been going on for years, where people sell babies, impregnate indigent females, lock them up for like months. After they give birth, they give them some money, and then they sell their babies. That's been going on for over 40 years. Even some part of the West and some part of the East. That is what some of them do. And then I will allow Mr. Jonathan to address this 1.3 trillion in treasury bills, because I know they're going to use to attract forex, but my dear, I don't know how that would help the economy, if at all. So I will not say I'm an expert in that, and I will let Mr. Jonathan handle that. And then finally, the US is offering support to rescue kidnapped children. You see this kidnapping thing? Like Miss Nnenna said, it's all badge. It's all badge. When these children, these are not goats. Is it like the people in the north so like this education that all these children are going to school? Look at the environment they're going to school. Who goes to those kind of places? Are those really schools? And all of a sudden, within 24 hours, they're trying to negotiate. So you see the graduate going on here? Like I said, is it not in a foreign country when you say that people they kidnap their children? Well, we have names, we will have faces, we will have IDs. Only in Nigeria can you carry people like cattle and they vanish into the thin air. They didn't go on trucks, they didn't go in through train, they didn't go by air, and now within 24 hours you're negotiating. Does that make sense? It does not make sense. And I've said it many times, this is an orchestrated attempt to extort money amongst themselves and share it. It is all a hoax. Let them come to the south, go and raid a school and carry only 5 children and see what will happen there. This is always happening in those northern places, borderline, Niger, Chad, and all those crazy places. So it doesn't make
No,
sense.
but madam, look, I'm sorry to come in, but if we have to go back to history, the Northerners have ruled Nigeria more than every other person in Nigeria. So how come they are not be able to provide for their people, protect their people till date?
Because it's a hoax. They
Hi,
use it
God.
to get money. It's a hoax. It's all a hoax. That is why even that Boko Haram one, that Chibok one, that was when the thing started. How can you carry 200 children? No name, no parents. Listen, if I was one of those parents, I would be sleeping in Aso Rock till they find my child. But after they come out and scream that the children are missing, everybody goes back to go and rest. How can you carry a child for 9 months or 10 months? Your child disappears. And the 200 parents are not in Aso Rock. Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make any sense. It's all a hoax. It's all a huge hoax. And now the US is coming. And if you look now, there's no US coming to help. One that on propaganda. The lies that they tell to give legitimacy to whatever they are doing. And then when they come now and offer, give them funds and everything, they will pocket it, including the ransom. Does the US negotiate with terrorists? So how are they coming to help? Is it by negotiation? So how are they coming to help? So these are just badger headlines and just lies. Because even the US, they do not negotiate with terrorists. And even if they do, you will know that it is on an equal footing. You give me my prisoners, I give you your prisoners. I mean, it's a highly orchestrated intelligent maneuver. But who's coming to help an illegitimate government to free faceless citizens and children. Mr. Niger Watch, it doesn't make sense. And then the last person that your Yeneka or Nayeka that says to go back to parliamentary rule. Oh, we have first a lot of solution. We want to go back to monarchy. We want to go back to regional government. We want to go back to this. Who will implement it? Are you trying to tell me the beneficiaries of this illegitimate government will do anything that will take bread from their mouth? Of course, subsidy is back. And this one is telling us that it was half subsidy and not full subsidy. Because if they take away the subsidy fully, Nigerians will crash. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what these people are doing to Nigerians? Like Mr. Niger Watch, I want to congratulate you. I give you power. I don't know how you sleep at night with all this. I mean, after doing it for 2 months, I had to take a break because every day I woke up miserable and every day I went to bed miserable. So my mental health was practically suffering, and I know that is what the ritualists want. So no, but we have to take a break, come back and be renewed so we can continue this fight. However it's going to go, I don't know, but it's not looking good and it's very depressing. So whatever we can do to keep going is what we can do. But like Mr. Dele Faro to me said, it is going to be an individual commitment. But how do you motivate an individual in Nigeria to be committed to rescuing Nigeria when all they know is criminality, poverty, illiteracy? How is that going to happen? Please, let's keep talking. I yield. If anybody has any, we just keep searching, but we don't see any end in sight. Thank you, my people.
Thank you very much, Madam Luke. Thanks for that wonderful submission. God bless you, man. Yes, it's not easy for me. It's not easy. It's just that people like you and many others on this platform are the one encouraging me to keep that consistency. It's not what I would like to do if the encouragement is not there. To be honest, coming out every day here, it's not easy. It cannot be easy for anybody. So we should understand that. So I really understand where you're coming from. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. The headache alone, the stress, everything, and the time doing your research, putting all these things together and reading and all that, and all you read is headache.
And then you're doing it in multiple platforms. My God.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You are those on the comment section. I welcome you all. Thanks. You said something, Mr. Elvis, so funny though in your presentation. You said the kidnapping in Nigeria is like a video game. Yes, I think the tech people should do a video game on that one. It's like the kidnapping in Nigeria is not like it will be so interesting to see it. This
it's crazy now.
Normally
it's a reality, but it looks like a game.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game. The ladies in the house, Madam Nnenna, Madam Luke, they've stated it all. That's what it is. It's a game. The idea that you will line up 287 children, and walk them, through the forest or a bush somewhere, it will take hours, and then there is no police, nothing. I listened to that school teacher, one of the school teachers speaking in Hausa, and it's a school, they said is the assistant principal. He can't speak in English, he was speaking in Hausa language, but maybe he was speaking to Hausa media there, whatever. But in that interview, he said he went to the town, he rushed to the town, and then by the time he got back, the children are nowhere to be found. What happened during that period? No police, no nothing. It's very clear. We know that this thing is all a game. Let's just call it what it is. It's a game. It's another way for them to get money out. And within 24, 48 hours, they use a private investigator. Are you kidding me now? You think people are stupid there? They use a private, because they have successfully sold the idea to us that the military is overwhelmed. The Nigerian police and the military, they are all overwhelmed. That's another story. You know, that they successfully, sold that to Nigerians, and we have bought it. Because other than that, I don't know what is the role of the police here. Even leave the military alone. Just put them where they should be, in the barracks. The police alone. This is for them to handle. You will pursue them. There is this program they do in US. There's this reality TV show. They will say the first 48 hours. They call it the first 48 hours. That if they cannot get to the root of the crime within 48 hours, then the chances of actually unraveling the case becomes more difficult. The first 48 hours that you will comb the bush, the Nigerian police in 2024, 21st century, where you can devise every means, and then 48 hours thereabout later, they said they use a private investigator. They think people are just stupid in this country called Nigeria. And they call them bandits. That's another. That when I hear that word, even look at that prince, that guy speaking in that interview. He used the word bandit several times. I was waiting to. What is bandits? These are terrorists. These are kidnappers. He calls them bandits. And before you say anything now, in a few months now, they will say they have repented. They are repentant bandits. Repentant Boko Haram, and then they will not place them in the Nigerian police, the Nigerian army. This is where Nigeria is. It's not a country. It's just a jungle. Coming out saying that a private investigator is not an indication of a serious government that is ready to protect and defend the citizenry. It's not at all. These are all criminal activities going on. The governor of a state just he needs money, and he wants to get money. He needs $5 billion somewhere. He just arrange for children to be kidnapped. We don't have media to add on top of it. No media when such a thing happens. We're talking of children here. We're talking of kids here, where the Nigerian media with their cameras and everything will have descended on that village. All of them 24/7. That's what they will be showing 24/7. All of them will have descended on that village. By now, they will be speaking to parents live. Parents of those children that are kidnapped. The names of those people will have been on TV. We'll be seeing their names of students that were kidnapped. The Nigerian media is they'll just sit down there inside one room called studio, calling people, interviewing people. These are just they just turn the country to I don't just know. Kidnapping children for crying out loud. These are not adults. The whole Nigerian media will have descended on that village, that the whole world will be watching. But as the people say, they've seen us finish. They've seen us finish. I want to talk on Daily Farotimi, what he said, with respect to Lagos. Some people in Nigeria, they still he touched one area there when he was talking about Lagos, because this lie that they've sold to us that Tinubu built Lagos Tinubu was the one that transformed Lagos.
Mr. Jonathan, there are so many noise on your background, sir.
Oh, okay.
It's distracting.
Is it better now, Mr. Elvis?
It's okay. Let's manage.
Is it better? Is my background better now?
Okay, it's good. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Farotimi talking with respect to Lagos and the lies that they've sold to people who wants to buy it. They bought it. People who they sold it to them. That dummy that Tinubu built Lagos. Those that are still selling those lies, it baffles me so much. The idea that Tinubu built Lagos.
Your audio is going off and on, sir. Off and on. Just remove that thing and talk normally now.
Okay, hold on.
We can't hear you anymore at all. Oh, every day we have to pass through this. But let me hear from somebody else. Mr. Jonathan, take your time to sort your
Yes.
audio
Can you
out.
hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, you are good now, but can you do this every day? Just make it come like this. What you
Okay.
are using is distracting the media sometimes.
Okay. So, okay.
Go ahead, sir. Thank
We'll
you.
work on that. Thank you. I was talking on Farotimi and that the idea that Tinubu built Lagos. That Lagos, even I saw one of the comments, on the comment section earlier today. Somebody saying that Lagos is still the best city, one of the best cities in Nigeria and in Africa. I was shocked. When perhaps the person probably he didn't listen to Dele Farotimi, or the person has no clue that Lagos is one of the best cities in Africa. When you hear things like that, you will be left with no other option but to challenge their thought process. You just have to challenge their thought process. Because what are those indices, those factors that you apply to determine the quality or standard of a state or a country? What are those, indices? Education is one of them. Healthcare is one of them. Housing, infrastructure, like electricity, like clean water, like roads, good roads, amongst others. These are the factors. Simple things you use, elementary things you use to determine this the quality or the standard of a state. So if your thought process is normal, if your thought process is okay at all and is normal, please take one of these indices factors, place them, place Lagos on a scale of 1 to 10, the 10 being the highest, and come back and tell me, as a reasonable person with a reasonable mind, that Lagos is one of the top cities in Nigeria or even in Africa. Just use those indices and place Lagos where, in a scale of 1 to 10. In education, where is Lagos? Between 1 to 10. In healthcare, where is Lagos? Between 1 to 10. In infrastructure, where is Lagos? From 1 to 10. Water, roads, please do that. It's a simple task that you can complete in a matter of 1 minute. And then now come back again and tell us where Lagos is. Then we'll know your state of mind. We can know your thought process, whether it is normal, whether it is faulty. Please stop selling this stupid idea. And even the media, they still sit down, they can't do this simple process. Where is Lagos in all of this? None of them. Can Mr. Tinubu attend any medical hospital in Lagos? Can Mr. Tinubu send any of his grandchildren to the public school in Lagos? To any public school in Lagos? And you said he built Lagos. Please stop this nonsense. And on the issue you talked about, this the CBN, when this 1.3 trillion naira on the treasury, they raised another 1.3 trillion naira. See, Nigeria, the bottom line is this: they know it. They can continue to lie all they like, and I'll give it to them. They are professional people. I have to respect their professional background, their educational background. I have to respect that to some extent. In fact, to a large extent. But they are not applying it because they are sycophants. They are just sycophants. These people they call the economy team. You know it. If you like, go and raise 100 trillion. Again, 100 trillion. The Nigerian space today. Nigeria is going nowhere. It's for the fact that Nigeria is not a productive country. It's as simple as that. Nigeria is not producing. So if you like, raise 100 trillion naira. This 1.3 trillion that they raise is treasury bill, and that means it's a short-term loan. Treasury bills are short-term loan between 3 months to 1 month maximum. 3 months to 1 month. And what does that tell you? So that simple tells you that anybody, whether it's a corporation or a country, a sovereign, that is going for treasury bill means that they need the cash so badly. That's what economy student 101 they will tell you in economy. You need the money so badly, so you will not go for bond, you will go for treasury bills, which means that you need the money so badly. And why are they coming for that in Nigeria? Because of the 21.5% interest. Because of the 21.5% interest. So here is the crooked part of it. You raise 1.3 trillion. But Nigeria, by that singular act alone, Nigeria is now in a hook of 279 billion naira in the next 120 to 180 days. They have to pay it to the people that brought the treasury bill of 1.3 trillion is not free. 21.5% interest rate is attached to it. So Nigeria has to pay. That portion, they will not say it out. Nigeria will now have to pay $279.9 billion. That's 21%, 21.5% of 1.3 trillion. You have to pay it to those people. And these are the people that looted Nigerian money. They are bringing the money back to get free cash in 180 days. And they will take their money back again. It only works for countries that are productive. So you will take the 1.3 trillion and put it into productive activities that will generate more than the 279 billion that you are going to pay. So can somebody tell me now what productive activities Nigerians will inject that money to that will give Nigeria 300 billion naira? So that when Nigeria pay the 279, Nigeria will still be positive. Of course not. There is none. So they took the 1.3 trillion and they are going to spend it. What they are running for or running away from is printing money. They don't want to print again because they've seen the devastation. They don't want to go through that route. So they are looking for the naira, not only dollars. They are looking for the naira as is so desperately. If there's any other word that I can use, I can find a diction to more than desperate. They are more than desperate for the naira as much as they are for the dollar. So they need the naira so badly. So that's why they increase the interest rate to 21.5%. It's very attractive. It's very, very attractive. But it is their own money. Remember, please don't be fooled. That 1.3 trillion is the money that they have stolen from the economy, from the Nigerian system. Those money that they stack inside houses, inside the soccer way. They brought it out now, put it there so that they can collect 279 billion in 180 days. And Nigeria will pay them that money. So that instead of them printing, they will quickly use this 1.3 trillion to fix some few things, meet up with some obligations. That's what they are doing. So what that tells me, and any right-thinking person, is that, in fact, see, 2025, let's leave 2024, we are still in the second quarter of 2024. With this trajectory, 2024 will be a child's play compared to 2025. Because this treasury bills is going to mature. It's going to mature towards the end of the last quarter of 2024. And they have to look for that money again. They will look for that 279 billion. And they probably will still have to get more before the end of 2024. So by the end of 2024, Nigeria will be looking close to have a billion naira to pay these people, these people. So where will the money come from? Please tell me. With all the other obligations of the federal government. So where will it come from? So the table is being set now. So they are setting the table for 2025. So if you have any idea, a little bit idea of how economy works, you can now see how 2025 is going to be. So they are setting 2025 up so we can see. But towards the end of the third quarter of 2024, one can begin to say 2025, but they are setting it up already with what they are doing now. So That's what this is all about. It tells us that they need naira so badly, they need dollars so badly, they want to avoid printing money. So you have to give people that. Everybody, everyone will do it. I don't, if you have naira today or you have dollars today, wherever you are. I think I mentioned this yesterday. It's very, very important. It's an important piece of information. If you have naira, if you have dollar there or pounds, you have your money there, you want to bring it to Nigeria, you don't have the intention of taking it back. You don't have. Please note, this naira, I will convert it to naira, but I don't have the intention of bringing it back or converting it back. Then what they are doing now, you also can take a piece of the cake. I will do the same. In fact, I'm on the verge of doing the same. Yes, do the same, because you will go there, you will collect this their 21.5%, which is good. It is a decent, it's very attractive, very, very attractive, tempting. You will get their 22.5% because they are desperate, they need money. So I will go and give them, but I don't have the intention of bringing the money back, because if you have the intention of bringing the money back, you don't enter one chance, because by the time you are converting it back to pounds, by the time you are converting it back to dollar, God help you if at that time pounds is not already at 3,000 or 4,000. So you will just find out that that money that you want to convert back will not even be up to what you brought in the first place. But if it is the money that you know is going to stay in Nigeria, you want to use it in Nigeria, you have a free 21.5% to collect now. It's free. You just go and take it. That's how desperate they are in Nigeria. It's pure business. If you have the money, that's fine. Go and take it. You have nothing to lose. So that is what is going on in Nigeria, right now. So, Mr. Elvis, it's so unfortunate, this adoption that is going on in Nigeria now. The kidnapping, the terrorism that is going on in Nigeria now is nothing, Madam Luke, we call it a hoax. Yes, it is. That is what it is in Nigeria today. There's no any other way you want to spin it. The banditry that is going on now, and what they have sold to us, that the army is overwhelmed. And we bought it. Nigeria bought into that lie. 287 children kidnapped in a country that has army, has police. 287 children kidnapped. It's just pathetic. It's just so pathetic, to say the least. So I will leave it at that for now, Mr. Elvis. Again, I want to say this again. The people we have there all over the place, we just have psychopaths, because that's what it takes. See, these people, they are heartless. So they are very, very heartless, and they are very, very wicked. Very heartless and very wicked. See what they've just done now. Within 72 hours, they said they negotiated through a private investigator. See how heartless and how wicked these people are. Come and tell us, how much did that private investigator collect? How much? At what cost? And this private investigator, which means that he has access to these kidnappers, these terrorists, one-on-one, face-to-face, he went in to negotiate with them. And we have a state. We call it a state, a nation state. This is what happens in cartels, in oil cartels. That's how they deal, how they transact business. Now you are transacting, you are doing Nigerian business as a criminal cartel, as a drug cartel. In fact, it's so sad. It's so sad. I was almost sold. Anyways, I must tell you, I was almost sold when I saw one of the women, one of the mothers crying I look at her intently. I look at that video closely. I want to see, is this a genuine cry? Is it a woman that is looking for her son or her daughter? And almost sold when I look at that woman. That woman was crying, calling for help for her son or her daughter. So sometimes you are in the middle of this. You don't even know where to go. Is this real? Is this fake? But when you look at Nigeria overall, you know that the criminals, the crooks that are running the affairs of that nation, they care less. They don't give a damn. It's all about them. It's all about the money they want to make out of this. One or two or few families might got trapped into this, that they are genuine, they are real. They might got trapped, but the fact still remains. This is all a crooked activity, a criminal activities that is going on within the government of a country. Mr. Elvis, I will leave it at that for now. I really appreciate the opportunity and patience that you have given
Thank
me.
you.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Now that was your fourth time of saying you will leave it at that. You leave it at that. I was just laughing here. Mr. Elvis, I will leave it at that. Mr. Elvis, I will leave it at that. Thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan.